Welcome back to the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. We're with head coach Matt Ballard. The football Eagles, a great effort on Saturday against Eastern Kentucky on the road in Richmond. And Matt, you always talk about from game 1 to game 2 the improvement. I think we saw it. I know it's a loss, but I've heard more good comments about a loss than we've had in a while.
Yeah, you'd think we won the ball game, but we didn't. But you've also heard me say this. I don't need the scoreboard to tell me what happened on the football field and what we did. But the bottom line is you want that scoreboard to say, what you want it to. We believed in our plan. We believed that we had a shot and chance if we executed that plan that we could go down there and beat all odds and we could win a football game. And I think when you battle so hard and you compete like we did, and you come so close and you have so many opportunities in order a chance to win a major football game, and then you come up short, it hurts that much more. And we weren't after a moral victory. You've heard me say this as well, but it applies to this situation. I mean, the game of football is not won; it's not played on paper. And on paper, maybe this game, number one, shouldn't even be played, but number two, when you look at their scholarship and where they play and who they had coming back, they've had 9 and 8 starters back from a championship football team that made it to the playoffs last year. They've got 63 scholarships. We got 0. Now, you tell me, it's probably going to be a track meet, and I'm sure most people thought that, and maybe Eastern Kentucky thought that, but you know what? We didn't think that, and that's the key. But the key was, we believed in our plan, and I tell you what, I don't think you can ask a group of young men to play any harder or to give any more. Our guys really battled, and, there was mismatch after mismatch after mismatch, but you know what? We were given 60 minutes. And every play, hey, let's give it our best. And I think for the most part, at least from an effort standpoint, we did that. Now, did we execute and make all the plays that we should have? No, absolutely not. So we have to remember the process going in, and then guess what? What we did down in Hanger Field, as I said after the ball game, we cannot leave it in Hanger Field. You have to learn from this. You got to bring it back, and we have to put it into work this week in our preparation, in the process. That's the most important thing. And then, yes, when we kick it off this weekend versus St. Francis University, then that same intensity, energy level has to be there. That's what winners and champions do. That's the next step that this football team has to make. And then each game and each opponent gives you different challenges, and hopefully the lessons that we learned in Eastern Kentucky, we learn that and focus in and get better on that this week during practice, and then hopefully we're able to take that next step in a ball game versus an opponent like St. Francis.
I know, and I don't want to throw up something, but, every time I've been stopped over the last few days, the call is what everybody wants to know. And, we talked to you at a halftime. It was, they say, a do-over. What was their explanation on the field? Because that, we were tied at 3-3. 2 plays later, Eastern scores a touchdown that would go ahead and would keep the lead for the rest of that time, basically. But tell us what the referee told you, because it was a long wait. It was about 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, there was quite a discussion amongst the officials themselves, and then the conversation continued to pursue once they came over to me and we went to the sideline. And, of course, that was not
I don't know if you went to the sidelines. You were mostly on the field. You stayed on the field.
Yeah, well, I was waiting there to make sure that they came. And then, but then when the referee did come over, then we walked to the sideline. Then, things there got a little bit heated too. But just the short of it, or the bottom line, the official ruling, let me just put it that way, was an inadvertent whistle. Okay, so that's what they said. That's what the call is. That's what goes down on paper. So that's what I can speak of and about, and we have to take that for what it is. And so when that is the case, then guess what? You do play the down over. And so, but, in talking to our football team, whether it's that play, whether it's that call, or whether it's the other 70, 75, 80 plays in a ball game, I've always believed that one game or one play doesn't make the difference. Now, can it make a huge change in the ball game and cause you to overcome things and that type of thing? Yes, but isn't that what football is? You know what I'm saying? So the key is that even though that went against us and that was a big, huge turn in the tide of the ball game, we had ample opportunity to overcome that, and we had other opportunities to score or to make stops, and either we didn't make the play or there were situations that Eastern Kentucky made the play, and that was the difference in the ball game. They're late in the fourth quarter when we throw the pass to Kataro over there on the side of the end zone. He's a half a step. He's a half a step out of bounds, and the ball's able to be a little bit lower. We're able to drag our feet. That's a touchdown. And then you think we have an automatic field goal. That doesn't go through. But I could go on and on. There's about 10, 11, a dozen plays that we make or is a little bit different, or I'll just take one or two of them. Then guess what? The final outcome and the story of this football game is totally different, and we do have the outcome that we want up there on the scoreboard. But again, basic bottom line is we know what we did on the field. We know the effort that we gave, and the film is so valuable. It's very, very impressive to see what we did versus a playoff caliber team that's probably going to win the OVC again. It's like, you know what, you did this versus these guys. So hopefully you bring that back, you put that into the process this week, and hopefully you carry that confidence into the ball game this week. But we can play with great energy and we can play with great effort. But guess what? If we don't improve in our protection, our execution, and more effective in the run game, if we're not able to be a little more effective in defending the run, we'll be as in big trouble this week as we were last week or versus St. Francis last year when there's plays to be made in the special teams or in pass defense. We've got to learn and improve in those areas. And if we do, then we'll when they blow the whistle, hey, the game's over, we'll like what we see up there on that scoreboard.
Matt Ballard is our guest, Eagle Sports Coaches Show. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about our crowd on Saturday. Probably over the past few years, and we travel well no matter where we go, but Saturday was kind of a special night because we had people staying on their feet for the 2 hours and 54 minutes that that game took place.
I'll tell you what, it was a rocking place. Yeah. It was a great environment, great atmosphere for college football, and I know our players really appreciate that, and that means a lot to have not only that kind of turnout, but, it seemed like every series, every play, just the noise level and how excited they got and they got into it was like it was a big third down play. But just think of all the big plays that were in that ball game and the fourth downs and crucial situations. Let me tell you what, our fans didn't back down either. Yeah. So that was a great environment, great atmosphere, and we sure appreciate that. And it was an electrifying, exciting night. And hopefully that carries over into Janes Stadium as well, because this is an important home ball game for us to kind of rebound and bounce back, and then that sets us up and gets us ready for PFL play.
St. Francis comes to town, and whether it's here or at St. Francis, this series has just been wild.
It's been whacked.
Yeah.
It really has. When you think it's going to be a low-scoring, tight, close ball game, then Lord have mercy, it's a track meet. When you think it's going to be wide open in track meet, then it's a 7-6 ball game. It's been everything in between. And in the past, I remember a game up there, they went out ahead 17-0. We were down 17-0 at halftime. We come back out, and then we shut them out, and then we put up 30 points. There's just – anything that can happen in a ball game can usually happen in a ball game with them. I don't know why this is with the situation with them, but I do know that they're a talented football team. They've got good size. They're athletic. And here's the key. is that they're a football team that is relentless. They play hard. They play to the very end. And when you have two football teams that are similar in that way, then guess what? You're going to have a dogfight, and it's going to be truly a 60-minute ball game. So I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, and fur's going to be flying, so to speak, as I say, because pads are going to be popping. So, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting Saturday afternoon.
Family weekend here on campus, and of course that means a lot of the families will be coming in. They'll be coming in anyway for the football game, the football players' families. Then the kind of special. I mean, the families come in, get to spend some time because they're young ones who don't play sports. Been away from about a month now, so they get to come in and see their kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a big moment. It'd be interesting. I was going to say, who's looking forward to this most? The student that's been here without mom and dad since they moved in, or whether the parents has been home alone and can't wait to see the kids. So yeah, it's a great, exciting time for the students here on campus and the families coming from all over, and then our guys as well. There's some of our guys that their parents weren't able to come to the first ball game, and we played away, so they weren't able to make this trip. But there's usually 2 weekends that they'll mark down and try, if humanly possible, if work permits, that type of thing, is try to get back for family weekend and try to come in for homecoming. So this is a special day, weekend, I think, for all of Morehead State University. I mean, it's all about family and community and coming together. And then guess what? There's a football game being played. That's cool, and that's a lot of fun.
1 o'clock will be the kickoff, 12:30 airtime here on the ESN. Coach, defensively, through 2 games, I think you have to be happy. I know that the rush against Eastern, they had the Denham kid that had over 150 yards, but he may not be a 1AA player, really. I mean, because he didn't start that way. Secondary was doing good. Your offense, your quarterback has put up some big numbers. I guess the one thing that you'd like to see is a running game get going.
Absolutely. I think trying to think who played yesterday in NFL. I think it was the Bengals.
The Bengals.
Baltimore. I think they had 10 yards rushing. We had 9. You're not going to win a whole lot of football games if you can't, run more than a few yards. You know what I'm saying? Effective. We don't have to run for 200 yards. Would we like to each and every game? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Yes, we would. We'd like to run for as many yards as what we can. But the key for us is we just have to have an effective run ball game when we need to or we want to. We just need a little more balance there, and then we can be a little more proficient, meaning high percentage in our pass game. When you got a big game, a big opponent like Eastern Kentucky, guys are so psyched up. They're trying and so hard, and that kind of plays into and contributes to some of the drops that we had in the pass game, whether it's a short game, the screen game, or balls downfield. We had way too many drop balls, but that's just that, guys just have to relax. And again, that environment, playing an atmosphere, playing a quality team like that, see, that's all part of it. So hopefully we'll be a little more relaxed this week. We'll have a little more effective run game. If we do, that will pay big dividends for us. And if that is the case, then protection is a little bit different. They have to honor things a little bit different from a defensive standpoint. So hopefully that should help us.
St. Francis is 1 o'clock here at Jane Stadium. Family weekend. Come on out and enjoy. A lot of activities. Go to moreheadstate.edu for more information. You can also go to msueagles.com for the latest in football news here at Morehead State. Matt, we'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, sir, man.
Matt Ballard, football coach at Morehead State. We'll come back with more. This is the Eagles Sports Coaches Show.